I didn't pass my law and ethics the first time. And so essentially I was like, I'm not a good test taker. But that was the mindset. And when I changed my mindset and figured out, just like I assess for my clients' needs, I assess my needs and I figured out why I wasn't learning. And that's how I became not only licensed, because I passed my licensure exam the first time, which was like immaculate to a lot of people. They're like, the first time you passed, I'm like, yeah, but I definitely strategically planned to pass the first time. I had no other choice.
Welcome to the Therapy Show podcast. I'm your host, Lisa Mustard. In each episode, I interview a seasoned and knowledgeable talk therapist from the counseling world to glean valuable insights, techniques, and tools that you can apply to your practice and your life. And if you're considering a career in the counseling field or just want to hear about what it's like to be a talk therapist, then this is the podcast for you. Hey friends, I hope you are doing well. We are rolling into July and it is going to be a busy month for us in the Mustard household. So bear with me once again as these episodes are released maybe a little bit more slowly over the summer, but we are definitely enjoying our time together and just taking in all the things that we can, going on day trips, working on some other fun things I have in the works. The girls are busy doing camps. My husband's busy with work, and we are probably going to take some type of vacation here in the next couple of weeks. We got to get our act together. We are kind of so last minute on some of these things. But anyway, before I jump into this week's episode, I want to tell you a little bit about some of the programs that I am an affiliate for, because I don't probably talk about them enough. I do have ads here throughout the podcast every now and then, like usually mid-roll, I have an ad for Zyia Active. I want to go into a little bit more about what Zyia Active is and why I decided to become a brand ambassador with Zyia. So as you guys may or may not know, I have pretty much lived in the gym in a healthy way for over 20 some years. And I go through a lot of workout clothes, like a lot of workout clothes. And in the past, I would buy stuff from Marshalls or Target. And while on the rack, they looked great, a couple washes in, a couple wears, and you guys know they started to lose their shape. They don't hold you in the places that you want them to as tightly. And I didn't want to spend a ton of money at the high-end premium workout stores. You guys know what I'm talking about. I love those clothes. I covet every item I have, but I wanted to find a brand that kind of met me in the middle, and Zyia Active meets me in the middle. So it's high-end premium clothes like you find at those other stores that begin with an L and an A here in the States, but yet they're at a cost that doesn't break my bank account. So I just want to share Zyia Active with you. If you're looking for workout clothes, actually, if you're looking for clothes that you can also wear to the office, similar to athleisure, then definitely check out Zyia Active. I'll put my link in the comments. Like the outfit I have on today as I am in between things and head into the office is I have on our new workflow pants in black. They're kind of like a gaucho pants. They're really, really comfortable. They're really, really light. They don't wrinkle. I'm looking down at them as I move away from the microphone. And then the top I have is called a parallel tank, which you could actually wear to work out in. I choose to wear it more casual wear. It's great. It's really comfy. It comes in a bunch of different colors. So I pretty much just kind of rotate through the Zyia joggers, these new flow pants, work flow pants, tanks. And then of course the activewear is phenomenal. I've been in the same black pair of leggings since I bought them 2.5 years ago. They haven't lost their shape. They haven't lost the stitching. They still fit me like brand new. So I'm a huge fan of Zyia Active. If you want to learn more, just head to the link in the show notes and you can check things out. If you do decide that you want to purchase something, just reach out to me because I love to offer a nice little discount on your first order. But to get that discount, you have to reach out to me, just the way those things work. The other program that I'm a brand ambassador for is called the Faster Way to Fat Loss. You guys, I've spent so many years trying different programs, different nutrition options. And really the Faster Way has been the most turnkey program for me. Now, I started the Faster Way last August, last summer when I was going really crazy at home with the girls being here and I was trying to get my work. I just couldn't get my workouts in. So I signed up for the Faster Way. Really the workouts, you get strength training, you get HIIT training, you get bar, you pretty much can find anything type of workout that you like. But what I like about it the most is it's laid out for me every week, what I need to do. And for nutrition, it tells me what I need to eat, my macros to reach my goals. There's also a vegan program. So if you're vegan, don't worry about that. The Faster Way covers you. And so I am a brand ambassador for that too. So I do receive an affiliate payment if you do decide to become a client. We have new rounds starting every couple of weeks. So what it means is to become a new client, you go through a 6-week round, you go through like a 6-week kind of induction into the faster way. If you want to learn more about the faster way, I'll drop a link in the show notes. You can click on it, and we have a bunch of freebies you can download and that you can get sent straight to your mailbox if you just want to kind of see what it's all about. But so those are the two things. And what I got to say about that is these partnerships that I have worked with really pay for a lot of my podcasting. So I'm super grateful when you guys purchase through me, when you try a new pair of leggings, or you decide to become a client in the faster way. I use all of these things and just want you to know that I don't promote or become an affiliate with something that I don't personally try or believe in. So you'll hear an ad for Zyia later in the show. Usually that's where I stick it. But okay, let's dive into this week's episode because that's why you guys are here. I want to tell you about Janisha. She is incredible. So Janisha Mickens-Ingram is a licensed marriage and family therapist who found herself struggling, who can relate with all the stressors of passing the MFT exam. You guys, I stressed so hard when I took that exam, so hard. And I wish I had Janisha in my life back then. But after passing on her first attempt, she now coaches others strategically to do the same thing with a 95% passing rate. So if you're an MFT and you can think back to that time when you were taking this exam, I'm with you. I feel you. It is so stressful. Passing that exam is a huge milestone in our careers. And if you're a therapist and you're in school and maybe you're not thinking about it quite just yet because you're really inundated with all the theories, with all the classes, maybe doing an externship, doing an internship. Eventually, you're going to have to take the MFT exam, right? I want you to follow Janisha because she is going to help you if you need it down the road with passing the MFT exam. So without further ado, you guys, let's jump into this episode. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Therapy Show. I'm your host, Lisa Mustard, and this week's guest is Janisha Mickens. I'm so excited to have you onto the show. Welcome. How are you?
Good, Lisa. Thank you for having me on board. Super excited to really talk to another MFT. This is amazing.
I know. It's great. And to connect with other MFTers, it's so much fun. I know a little bit about you, just a little bit, but would you go ahead and share with our audience who you are and what you do?
Yes, my name is Janisha Mickens-Ingram. I am originally from Los Angeles, California. I was born and raised here, and I recently purchased a house here in Compton, California, where I actually have a facility that I work as a lead as 5 minutes away. So I work in my actual environment that I live in, which is amazing because people that look like me get to have a therapist that look like them. Mm-hmm. I've been practicing in the field about 15 years. I'm recently licensed of last year. So over a year and a half been licensed. However, been doing the work intensively for over 5 years. I have 2 children and a bonus son, and I'm married with 4 dogs.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's a lot of kids and dogs.
And dogs. And I have an amazing study right group for future upcoming licensed clinicians. So that's one of the babies that I've been working on for the last 2 years, and it's booming right now. So I'm super excited to be able to be a part of many clinicians' journey.
Yeah, that's really, really exciting. So I'm super curious. I want to back up a little bit. So you've been in this work for about 15 years, you said, but only licensed recently. So tell us about your journey into becoming a MFT.
Essentially, I started off wanting to be a behavior therapist, but specializing in therapy for the parents. Because if you know the field, when you go out and do behavior therapy for children, most of the time the parents are left with all their issues. And so the parents typically try to take over the sessions of the children. So they're not getting support that they need to go through the grief and loss process of their child being diagnosed. So I essentially wanted to go to school just to be the therapist for the families and not just the child, but implement both.
Gotcha.
As I flourished and went to Skid Row and worked there for about 5 years, I changed my niche to still wanted to help those individuals, but not just focus on those individuals. And there I learned a lot of compassion and become very humble because in Skid Row, in California, you see so much and you start to get a better understanding of the choices people make because they have the services, but they don't necessarily choose the services. So I went back to school. My friend Tia, she called me. She said, let's go get our master's. And I was like, cool. When are we going to get it in? And I was like, okay, I made my appointment. She's like, I made mine. I showed up. She didn't.
Oh.
And so I was like, okay, God works in mysterious ways. Went to school. She still hadn't showed up. Did the whole 2.5, 3 years. Did my hours and got licensed. I didn't pass my law and ethics the first time. And so essentially I was like, I'm not a good test taker. But that was the mindset. And when I changed my mindset and figured out, just like I assess for my clients' needs, I assess my needs and I figured out why I wasn't learning. And that's how I became not only licensed, because I passed my licensure exam the first time, which was like immaculate to a lot of people. They're like, the first time you passed, I'm like, yeah, but I definitely strategically planned to pass the first time. I had no other choice.
Right.
And my mindset was totally different than it was for the law and ethics. And if you don't know the difference between California and other states, California has their own law and ethics. And so we have to take a law and ethics first. Then we get an opportunity to take our licensure, but you still have time to complete your hours and submit your package to get licensed in California.
Okay.
So I am California licensed, not nationally licensed. However, I studied on a national level, but most of my study right tribe is national based.
Right.
And we have a 95% passing rate.
Wow. Okay. So let's just back up and make sure I understand. You and I took the same exam. I'm in South Carolina. You're in California. We took the same LMFT exam, right? I mean, I took a long.
You took the national.
Yes.
And I took the California.
Okay.
So the difference between your exam and my exam was the law and ethics was different.
Okay.
Yours was based on a national answer.
Okay.
Mine was specifically for California.
Okay.
You had genograms on your exam.
Yes.
I didn't have genograms on my exam.
Okay.
But I had the concepts of genograms. So I didn't have to know the symbols, but I needed to know the approach.
Okay. Gotcha.
You had statistics. I didn't have statistics on mine.
Okay. Gotcha. So but what you're sharing is that the folks that are in your program are also studying for the national exam. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So we're all
the majority are national.
Okay.
And because just because you are from California, you still need to know the concepts of national.
Gotcha.
You just may not need to know the symbols, but you should know that for when you go into practice.
Right. Okay. This is all making sense. I got it. It's all coming together. Because when I took that exam I took it in 2006. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm not going to.
That was a while ago.
I was.
You don't look that.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. You're so kind. Yeah, it's a tough exam. I remember folks saying the LMFT exam is tougher than the LPC exam. I remember that like floating around grad school and I was like, why am I sitting for the LMFT exam? But I'm so passionate about marriage and family and as you are systems and like getting in there and making a difference, not just for one, but for many in that system. You're called to it. It's like, I couldn't not do it. You know what I mean? Okay. So how did you decide to make this is it a side business? Is it more than a side business? Like tell us more about it.
When I first started, it was more about me being selfish, to be honest. I knew what I needed to pass. And the best way to learn for me, per se, is to teach.
Okay.
So I took on everyone in Facebook on certain groups was like, oh, I need a study group. I need a study group. But no one was putting action to it. And if you did get in a study group, it wasn't structured at all. So I said, okay, if and when I pass this exam, because it's not if I pass it, it's when I pass it, I'm going to make this a business. And I'm not going to base it off of financial gains. So it is a side profession, but I take it on as a full-time mindset.
Gotcha.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so I took a cohort of whoever wanted to join for free. And I said, okay, this is the plan. We're all in this together. We're going to figure it out together. However, once I get licensed, I'm going to charge. So anybody coming into the group after this time will have to pay once I get licensed. Because the thing is, who wants to pay you if you don't know what you're doing?
Right.
You don't have an outcome.
Right.
So it was a benefit for everyone,
right.
Not necessarily just me being selfish. And so I went through trials and error of different resources because it's a mountain full of resources for us to learn from. And so I started investing in certain things, and a lot of stuff was gifted to me. So that was the real reason why I said I need to give back. And that was the fire behind it, because people just gave me stuff just because they knew what I was doing. Whether it was financially, they was like, here, invest in yourself. And I was like, cool. And so I created a curriculum as I went with the Study Right Tribe in the very beginning. And people were passing before me because they scheduled their exam before I did. And then when I took the exam, I passed it the first time.
Yay.
And I was so excited because exactly what I stood on was put out there in the atmosphere, and it came into pass.
Yeah.
And I was able to show that people who came in who took it 5 times passed it with the group, and people who came in for the first time passed it the first time. Did people come in that didn't pass? Absolutely. But it was also other things like, data. If you come in 2 weeks before your exam,
right,
the chances are you really getting the things you need is very slim. But do we work hard to get you there? Yes. So we try to fast track everything as much as possible. So your scores may have went up, but you may not have gotten the score that they wanted you to get. I don't believe in failing. I believe you just didn't get the score that they wanted you to get. So let's reassess and let's get the score that they want.
Yeah.
And so those individuals end up coming back and then they pass because they at least are with us for 30 to 60 days.
Gotcha. I got it. I love it. I think I love your attitude towards just helping and giving back and being of service and value and just wanting other people to pass and enter this field and do this good work. So tell us, how does it work now? So how do people enter your program? How does it all work?
It's super easy right now.
Okay.
We're on Facebook. I'm on Instagram, and I just simply post every month. We get new candidates to enter.
Okay.
You send me a cash app of $50. That includes 2 hours out of a day. So Mondays or Thursday, it's 2-hour groups. So you can choose one group or 2 groups, which is Mondays and Thursdays. So if you chose to do 2 groups, that's $100 a month.
Okay.
Which is 4 days, which ultimately is like $7 to $10 per hour. You can't beat that, especially compared to the resources that you get with Study Right. You're not just getting someone that's saying, hey, let's study. I'm giving you exactly what works. You're not searching for anything. You're not trying to figure out the different rationales. You're bringing your content, and I'm telling you the answers. Right. I'm telling you why, and we're making sure you understand why on your mindset term, because you do need to know the language of the test, but you need to know the language how you think,
right?
So you can translate it.
Okay, so you're not just giving content like how to study these different theories and the different applications. You're giving folks like, okay, here's the language of the test. This is what they're asking. Now, this is how your brain is processing it. Like you're helping them like really learn how to be a better test taker when it comes to these things.
So I'm providing therapy for test takers.
I love it. Therapy for test takers. Do we get a process session with you, as we work alongside you? Like, do you offer?
So we're with you the whole time. Everyone has my direct contact. We have a Study Right Tribe gang chat group, which stays lit 24/7 because they're all over. And I'm not just the one teaching. We're learning from each other. And I tell everybody, I might not know all the answers.
Yeah.
But guess what? If I explain it to you one way and you don't get it, you have 50, 60 other people in this chat room that can help you.
Right.
And explain to you exactly what I said, or if I didn't explain it the way that you get it.
Yeah.
And so the system is built to not only you learn the first hour from a licensed profession, you as a cohort learn amongst each other the second half. And it's set up that way because we are emotionally learners. And I always refer back to the dry eye, clear eye guy. If you remember that commercial, you didn't remember it because you liked it. You remembered it because he was irritating, and it was emotionally connected to your irritation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great way of putting it. I'm trying to remember that commercial though. Which one? So, yeah.
It's a dry eye, clear eyes, and it was for the Visine or something.
Oh, right. Yes. Yes. I know what you, oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're right. I mean, that's a really good way of showing that point. Hey friend, want to be more comfortable while sitting on the therapy couch? I sure did, and went looking for pants and tops that were soft, wrinkle resistant, and would match just about anything I already had in my closet. And now Zyia Active makes up about 80% of my wardrobe. Would you like to learn more? Head over to my site, lisamustard.com, and click on the activewear tab. And don't think this is just for women. They have men's and kids' clothes too, and our family is loving the quality, and I am loving the price tags. So head over to my site to check it all out. So most of the people that you work with are recent graduates of an MFT program, I'm guessing, or
yes.
Okay. So if you're listening and you are going into your last semester of your MFT program and you're thinking down the road to getting licensed, when should they be contacting you? Like how soon in advance should they be starting to work with you?
I would say at least reach out within 6 months of taking your exam.
Okay. So
that I can see exactly where you are.
Okay.
Because I'm a firm believer, if you don't need me, I'm not going to tell you to join the group.
Okay. Oh, good.
Okay. Yeah. And there's certain questions I ask you, and there's certain things that I want to know about you before you enter to the group, because your time is valuable. Your money is more valuable to you. And if you don't need to pay for this extra support, don't.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of fine tune where you are in efforts to make your life easier.
I gotcha. And so anybody nationwide can work with you.
Yes.
You're good with that. Okay. Anybody
like nationwide on your side.
Yeah. There you go. Okay. So tell us what happens once you join. What does it look like?
So once you join, what I do is I create anxiety induced things, because what happens is a lot of people don't read, right? And so typically the post says, hey, this is how you enter. This is the steps. A lot of times people are not reading those steps. So I'm getting back and forth, back messages and DMs, and I always refer them back to the source. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of people are like, well, why can't you just tell me? And once they get into the group, I make this joke like, we don't read, right? A lot of you inbox me because of this and this. Let me tell you, on the exam, the reason why you're not passing or you're not getting the questions right is because you're not reading. Mm-hmm. You're not reading, right? Mm-hmm. Put something in front of somebody, they want you to tell you the answer immediately. So we go through the steps of getting to know my personality to see if it's a good fit, because a lot of people can't deal with raw, dry or, rough commentary, but it's facts. And the facts actually help you. And once you get into the chat room, I don't say anything but, hey, what's going on? Start on mindset changing. I focus a lot on that first. And then the people are like, where's the content? I want to know. Right. So I create this anxiety so you can prepare for this test. When you get there, you're going to see people stretching and doing all these weird things because they're anxious, right? And so I prepare you for all these, distractions in the beginning. Mm-hmm. And so when you get ready to take the test, you're like, okay, they're anxious. Mm-hmm. And let me refocus and, get my mindset right and do what I have to do and not be really bothered or distracted. Yeah. Yeah. And the first group, we go over the rules and regulations of, what the expectations are, because you're not here just to be here. Right. You need to participate. Right. Yeah. And then we go over what we're going to discuss today. Yeah. And we get right in. The second half is all about learning how to take, looking at different strategies, different things that utilizing the strategies that I taught in the first half. I gotcha. Okay. Do you have all this in a portal, or is it, how does it, like, where do you house old school? We ghetto around here. So I haven't expanded there yet. I gotcha. We're working on that. Okay. But right now we're via Zoom. Okay. And everything that I have is PowerPoint driven, emotional driven, face-to-face direct contact communication. Okay. We do have handouts and stuff like that we present to our individuals that's in the group, and we utilize our WhatsApp chat to do that.
Yeah. Well, if it's working for you, keep going. I mean, there's no need to make it fancy. keep if
Oh no, we're going to keep it simple.
Just keep it simple.
Just like how you take the test. You stick to the facts, right? And if it's working for us, it is. But I do see myself being able to offer, some of these courses via portal, so people can just pay for if they want to know about DSM or diagnosis or certain things, they can just click on the Zoom link and listen to the session. I'm not there yet, not really sure, because I know a lot of people are creative and then they can leak the information. And I want everyone to know that the value that you're getting is not just because $50 is not a lot of money,
right?
But we pay for what we want. And that's what I realized. A lot of people say you should be paying a lot. People should be paying a lot more for what they're getting after they get in to the group. Mm-hmm. But that's not the focus. The focus is to get some good clinicians out here to pass this exam so that our world becomes a better place.
Oh, gosh. I love it. I love it. You have such a heart for this. And I'm so, so grateful that we connected. One of the reasons I wanted to start the show is because I wanted to get information out about therapy and help our peers and just give them what they needed in a convenient and on-the-go platform. And so I love your mission. I love, we're similar, we're different, but we're similar.
Absolutely.
And we have a lot of similar characteristics and qualities. So I'm so glad that you came on the show. Is there anything else that you want to share with our audience today?
If you are just considering to see what type of approaches we do, or if you just want to know more about what's on the exam, check out our YouTube channel. We just started that. It's LMFT Study Right on YouTube. And we also have a Study Right group on Facebook where you can see some content, get to engage with us a little bit. And it's also called LMFT Study Right on
Awesome.
Facebook.
We'll put all of that in the show notes for sure. One more question I wanted to ask you. Now, you said that you are in private practice or you work for an agency? I didn't catch that. So if
I do both.
Oh, you are a busy woman.
Do everything.
Yeah, you do.
So I work for an agency. I'm the lead licensed clinician there.
Okay.
And it's a wellness center. So I work there in the office 3 days a week, and I have my own private practice, which is called the Happy Therapist per the smile.
Awesome.
So if you want to follow me and get some nuggets on just mindset and mental health change, you can follow me personally at your_happy therapist on Instagram.
Well, Janisha, thank you so much for coming onto the show. I really hope that folks will reach out to you when they're ready to get going on the licensure exam, and we'll also follow you for some happy therapy in their life. So thanks again for being here.
Thanks for having me, Lisa. And if you ever want to collaborate, just let me know. We can talk about anything.
Yeah. And so my friends out there listening who are podcasters, if you guys want an amazing guest, be sure to reach out and we will get you hooked up. So thank you so much. Well, that wraps up another episode of The Therapy Show with Lisa Mustard. I know there are hundreds of thousands of podcasts out there, and I'm thankful you've chosen to listen to mine.
Be sure to visit lisamustard.com to access the show notes and discover more fantastic content.
And I'd be grateful if you subscribe to the show. Thank you.